men's 100-meter final. Bolt gets out pretty well, so does Rogers. Gatlin's got out a little bit better though, and Bolt and Gatlin are right together here. It's Gatlin at the moment, but here comes Usain Bolt, and Bolt gets it! Oh, does he? I think he has! Usain Bolt! It's very, very tight, but I think he's done it! He's saved his title! He's saved his reputation! He may have even saved his sport!
You didn't think I was going to select this one, did you? Where do I even start with this one? My favourite ever single competition in athletics, track or field, is the men's 100 metres from the 2015 World Championships in Beijing. It was not the fastest race ever. It was not an underdog story. It was not the closest or most tightly contested of races ever, but the importance of it can be summed up in the words of commentator Steve Cram. Usain Bolt may even have saved his sport. This is the story of my favourite ever event in athletics. Naming my favourite ever event in athletics is a big deal for me. Choosing this one meant not choosing Tonique Williams-Darling running down Sanya Richards in 2005. It means it's ahead of Ariana Friedrich and Blanka Vlasic duelling for the high jump glory in Berlin. It means not choosing Bridget Foster becoming world champion and Kim Collins pulling off one of the biggest shocks in history. It means I didn't choose Irving Saladino winning world long jump gold in the final round. And I am usually, I point out, someone who prefers long-distance races to sprints. The 2015 World Final was far from Usain Bolt's best race. His world record days were at this point 6 years behind him, but that is part of the story. After the 2013 World Championships, Usain Bolt had gone through a rocky time. A foot injury meant that the 2014 season consisted of him winning only the Commonwealth Relay Gold and calling the games in Glasgow a bit shit. There were some question marks over Bolt heading into the 2015 season when he said he would retire in 2017, and he won the early season races over 100 metre and 200 metres, but was outside the 10 and 20 second barriers. This might not be alarming for anyone else, but this was Usain Bolt. Bolt looked sluggish in a time when athletics really needed a hero. This was because the US had a real prodigy on their hands, in the shape of a very talented young prospect in Justin Gatlin, who was, in 2015, the hottest new prospect in sprinting. No, Gatlin was 33 years old, but the fact he was producing the performances of his life were suspicious. Gatlin had faced suspicion his whole career. Suspicion and actually flat-out offending, as his first act as a 19-year-old in 2001 was to be banned after testing positive for amphetamines. It was possible these were the immature actions of a naive young man, or even, he argued, a byproduct of medication he had been taking since a child for attention deficit disorder. Gatlin then became Olympic champion in 2004 and world champion a year after, all under the watch of the now convicted felon Trevor Graham, who has been banned for life as a coach due to doping offences. It all looked a bit suspicious, and sure enough, Gatlin tested positive for testosterone in 2006. Now, there is some inconsistency around the reporting of what happened next, as Gatlin returned to athletics after a reduced ban in 2010 and competed at the 2012 Olympics. From what I can remember, the British media was not that bothered about his presence in London, and it flew under the radar. Perhaps the British press were only concerned when Gatlin started winning, and that he did, taking silver in the 2013 Worlds, before setting the fastest ever times of his career over 100 metres and 200 metres in 2014 and 2015. Indeed, Gatlin's 7 fastest 100 metre times were all set in 2014 and 15, when he was 32 and 33 years old, which all seemed a bit odd given that he was past the age of the standard peak and suspicious given his past. The BBC then got hold of a study by scientists in Oslo, which found that muscles can retain the advantages given by anabolic steroids decades after the point at which they were taken. For the sake of any legal challenges, I'll say in my best Lance Armstrong voice, Justin Gatlin did not test positive for performance-enhancing drugs more than twice. He has also always denied his usage. But the hint here was that Gatlin may no longer be taking drugs, yet still may be benefiting from them. Now, again, it depends which side of the Atlantic you were living in 2015. The US press, I gather, portrayed Gatlin as something of a reformed figure. But over here, the knives were out, and he was just about as unpopular as I've ever known a track athlete. Outside of Gatlin's own sphere, athletics has been dogged by further doping stories. In 2015, Mo Farah's then coach, Alberto Salazar, had been at the centre of a scandal and was eventually brought down. And while Farah himself has avoided such a fall from grace, at least away from the sport, there was a bizarre story in 2015 when it was revealed he missed 2 drug tests, one of which was because he didn't hear his own front door when testers arrived. British faith in athletics was shaken, and the 2015 World Championships was very much billed as a showdown of good versus evil. From the early part of the season, it very much looked like Gatlin would win this duel. The American had won all 5 of his 100-metre races leading into Beijing, including a personal best 9.74-second win in Doha. Bolt had come to form by the London Diamond League, but had a season's best of 9.87 seconds. And then came the Beijing semi-finals. Bolt stumbled badly coming out of the blocks and had an almighty effort just to make up the qualifying and got there in 9.96 seconds. Gatters, as let's call him, we've come far enough, was far more convincing, winning his semi-final in 9.77 seconds. The stage was set, and a couple of hours later they returned for the final. I admit I did get swept up in the narrative behind this one, and I have never been more nervous before a race. It really didn't feel that Bolt could do it, and as the race began, it looked like it was Gatlin's title. But just a few metres before the line, Gatlin began to overstride, and Bolt remained composed, storming through to win in 9.79 seconds, a time actually slower than Gatlin's semi-final. When it was all on the line, the great man stepped up, and this really was a clash for the ages. We just don't get track rivalries like this now. He saved his title, he saved his reputation, he may even have saved his sport. This felt like a victory for Bolt, but also for athletics. And for the absolute drama, it is my favourite race of all time. Right, so that is that. Thanks ever so much for watching this video. And if you've been unlucky enough to watch more of these, then thank you for your persistence with this channel. This will be probably the last one I do. I don't have any more plans to do other videos, and I don't know. I've kind of, I think it's run its course, and I don't really have much desire to continue. But I hope you've enjoyed them, and thanks ever so much for watching. You'll know by now, but there are many other better athletics channels than this one. But if you would like to watch my older videos, they're still on this channel, and yeah, I've been saying this the whole time, but more than ever, it's really not important to like or subscribe. I don't really mind, but thanks for the support along the way.